here's Dawn and Christopher, and the first thing I'm going to talk about is William Shakespeare, right? Who I believe is
interesting
and unnecessary.
You're boring because this is the PG version.
I've studied Shakespeare. I've got numerous qualifications related to Shakespeare. I do understand it if you know, someone's doing it. If it's Serene McKellen or whatever playing a part, absolutely appreciate all of that. But I don't see why every child at every school should have Shakespeare rammed down their throat.
Well, no, quite. This story is actually, it's an £800,000 project funded by the Arts and Humanities Research Council at the University of Roehampton, has found that basically Shakespeare was our... Shakespeare's made theatre to pal, mal and style. Well, of course it blooming well has, hasn't it? Because what else was around in Shakespeare's time? Actors were men, it was white, and they were probably older as well. I mean, it's just ridiculous, but it's taxpayers' money being funded on something that is just frankly ridiculous and that we don't need to be... It's more wokeness.
Do you know what I'd like?
It's gone woke.
Yeah, do you know, I would like to go and see a Shakespeare's Greatest Hits over 2 hours or so. You know, a scene from Macbeth, a scene from How You As You Like It, or whatever it happens to be. But I'm not interested in the overall 2.5, 3 hours of...
Yeah, I think it depends. I mean,
What have you done? What have you...
Well, years ago, I played Puck in A Midsummer Night's Dream. In fact, it was Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. In fact, I was the best Puck in the Park that year.
And, very good.
It was. I really enjoyed it. But you can go along and see Shakespeare and be thrilled, and you can go along and be bored. That is the fascinating thing.
Did you actually understand the lines that you were reciting?
I did, because I made a point of understanding them, because I wanted the audience to understand them. But often, I don't think that's a very good point you've made, because I don't think people do know what they're saying.
I don't think you can go and watch a Shakespeare play unless you already know it. It's almost like you have to understand the story and the characters, and perhaps have even done a bit of reading into it. Because if you went completely blind, especially in today's world where we don't speak in that kind of way, it is, I think, probably a bit alienating.
But Dawn is saying it is alienating at the moment because of the lack of representation.
You know what, the actual phrasing they use, right, OK, the disproportionate representation propagated white, able-bodied, heterosexual, cisgender male narratives. I'm sure there's people sitting in a room going, what's the most ridiculous thing we can come up with today?
Yes.
But really, just chuck all these words and it's cisgender, and it's just insane. Of course, Shakespeare was what it was back in the day, and that's why it's mostly blokes and they're mostly white.
And lots of speculation that he was actually gay, isn't there? Because he never really saw Anne Hathaway very often and stayed away a lot of the time. I don't know, maybe he was a big
He might have
gay
been
icon.
transgender for all I know. I mean, I don't...
Biggins, I'm looking at you.
No, I think you're right. I mean, you know, I think that goes for the profession too. I mean, I do think I mean, I remember seeing Macbeth in London with Judi Dench and Ian McKellen, and it was one of the most exciting evenings ever. And it was a cold night at the Donmar Theatre, outside and inside, and that gave it atmosphere. There are certain things, and then you go along and see something else, and you think, I'll walk out in the interval.
Yeah. Macbeth is a sexy play, though.
It is and it's a short play, too. Because often...
Let's talk about... there's so many. Can I live to be 100?
Oh, this is depressing.
I think it is depressing. I like to stay here now. I don't want to live to 100.
Oh, don't say that.
And I'm right behind you.
I don't even want to. My father died at 63. That'll be me gone this year. And I just don't see the point. There's no point living longer if you're not living better.
But
I agree.
You've got your grandchildren. Surely you want to see them married.
Oh, I couldn't care less. I don't like weddings anyway. No, I'm not sitting... No, but listen. As you get older, you realise no one cares about you, right?
It's not true.
No, but it is true.
Eamonn, we care. We do care about you.
No, people say, oh, it's awful. Eamonn's in that chair, it's awful.
My mum's 74 today, and I dread it.
Happy birthday, Mum.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mum. But I adore my mum, and I want her to live to see my children married, and
well, what if her knees are hurting, her back's hurting, and her ears are hurting, and whatever?
Keep going.
I tell you, I don't want to be. Biggins, what's your point?
No, I would absolutely hate it. Another 25 years of this life?
Yes.
No, thank you very much.
Yeah.
No, I've had it.
And you know, the serious point is that they think we're being curmudgeonly, whatever, about this. When you suffer pain and anxiety...
absolutely.
And you can't hear and you can't see and you can't do whatever it is, what is the point?
No,
What is
and
the point?
I don't want to be pooing my pants and,
Oh,
you know, throwing up and all that business.
Well,
No,
wait till
but-
you do poo your pants, and then you will think about it, because that's what you have nursing care for, and that's why nurses should be paid more than anybody else in the country.
Absolutely. What they have to go through looking after us oldies.
Welcome to Breakfast TV. I hope you're having a lovely meal.
I don't know. We've got 1 minute 20, Dawn, but I really want to squeeze this story in. Adultery may still be a sin, but will soon be legal in New York.
Did you know
Tell
it was
us
illegal?
more.
Did you know it was illegal?
I actually didn't know it was illegal.
No,
but I
no,
suppose
no.
It's a...
Yeah, adultery has been illegal in New York, Oklahoma,
What, you can go to
Wisconsin,
jail if
Michigan.
you cheat on your husband?
You can, absolutely, yeah. A $500 fine or 90 days in jail if you cheat on your spouse. Can't talk straight, wasn't it? Sorry. But it's one of 16 states where cheating is still a criminal offence, but that is being repealed now. So you can go and be unfaithful in New York and you won't get banged up for it.
I must just quickly continue that theme. There's a park bench in Bristol, and this is hysterical. The wife, the husband died, the wife did this park bench. There's a plaque, for my love, the year he was born, the year he died, husband, father, adulterer. Yes, Roger, I knew.
That's brilliant. I love that.
And now so does everyone else.
Yes, exactly. I love it.
Wow,
I love it.
revenge is best served
Exactly.
cold.
And I take my hat off to that
Did
woman.
it make him a bad person? That's the
Was
Was she
question.
behind his death? Who knows?
Biggins and Dawn, thank you both very much indeed. Very informative, very entertaining, as
Yeah.
per usual. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much
both.
indeed.
Thank you.
The weather picture. Good morning, Marco.